Good day, everyone. I am Jala Francisco Abrique, and I am the first reporter for Chapter 5, which is the Managing Workplace Stress. And particularly, I will be discussing about what is stress, what is the history of stress, and what is the relationship of stress in the workplace context. So, at the end of our discussion, we'll be able to define and understand stress. So don't you know that stress was faced by our cave-dwelling ancestors every time they left their caves and they encountered their enemies, which are the saber-toothed tigers? So Alan Goodman is a biological anthropologist and he studies stress in prehistoric times. And according to his study, his research shows that stress response is likely brought by the move from hunting and gathering to the building of civilizations and establishment of society. So prior to the term stress being used as a psychological term, it was used to describe various types of physical pressures. And in 1945, Grinker and Spiegel wrote a book titled Man Under Stress, which explored the psychodynamics underlying various stress responses of the World War II pilots. And they also describe adjustment problems of men returning from home with war neurosis. This war neurosis includes symptoms strikingly similar to the criteria of post-traumatic stress disorder in DSM-4. So by the end of the World War II, psychological stress was recognized as an important factor in the onset of certain psychopathologies and psychosomatic symptoms. So medical doctors were particularly interested in the influence of stress in the causes of diseases. So today, the tigers of the prehistoric times are gone, but other predators arise that interact and create stress for individuals in the workplace environment, such as work overload, nagging boss, computer problems, time deadlines, downsizing, mergers, poorly designed jobs, elder care, mental disharmony, financial crisis, terrorism, and accelerating rates of change, and many more. So what is stress? Ano nga ba ang stress? So the word stress is a derivative of the Latin verb strictus, which means to draw tight, and strictus could also mean to graze, touch, pluck, or prune. So in a layperson's perspective, stress can be described as feeling tense, anxious, or worried. So scientifically, these feelings are all manifestations of the stress experience, a complex program response to perceived threat that can have both positive and negative results. So in literature, stress has been defined in literally hundreds of ways. So moreover, stress can be defined as a stimulus or as a response. So a stimulus definition treats stress as some characteristic or event that may result in a disruptive consequence. So sa definition, sa stimulus definition ng stress, ang stress ay gina-define as a some characteristic or event na pwede maging resulta ng disruptive consequence such as termination from job and many more. So, in a response definition naman ng stress, stress is seen partially as a response to some stimulus called as stressor. So, a stressor is a potentially harmful or threatening external event or situation. The consequence of the interaction between an environmental stimulus, a stressor, and the individual's response. So that is, stress is the result, ang stress ay resulta of a unique interaction between stimulus conditions in the environment and the individual's predisposition rather to respond in a particular way. So using a response definition of stress, we will define stress as an adaptive response mediated by individual differences that is a consequence of any action, situation, or event that places special demand on a person. So stress is viewed as a response a person makes and to identify stimulus conditions such as actions, situations, and events as stressors. So in the definition of stress as a response, example nito ay yung pagiging sad, yung pagiging yung mga coping mechanisms ng isang employee. So it is important to understand that stress is the result of dealing with something placing special demand on us. So that the word special here means unusual, physically or psychologically threatening, or or usual set of outside our usual set of experiences. So in that sense, they are potential stressors. So we say potential because not all stressors will always place the same demands on people. So according to the World Health Organization, work-related stress is the response people may have when presented with work demands and pressures that are not matched to their knowledge and abilities and which challenge their ability to cope. So work-related stress doesn't just disappear when you head home for the day. So when stress persists, it can take a toll on your health and well-being. So a stressful work environment can contribute to problems such as pagkasakit ng ulo, sleep disturbances, pagkasakit ng tiyan, short temper, and difficulty concentrating. So chronic stress can result when we say chronic stress, it is the long-term stress. So chronic stress can result in anxiety, insomnia, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. So it can also contribute to health conditions such as depression, obesity, and heart disease. And compound the problem, people who experience excessive stress often deal with it in unhealthy ways, such as overeating, eating unhealthy foods, smoking cigarettes, or abusing drugs and alcohol. So that is according to the American Psychological Association. So there are three key factors that determines whether an experience is likely to result in stress. We have the importance, the uncertainty rather, and the duration. So in importance, it relates to how significant an event is to an individual. In uncertainty naman, it refers to the lack of clarity about what will happen. And finally, the duration it is a significant factor. So the longer special demands are placed on us, mas nagiging stressful yung situation. So stress of short duration is referred to as acute stress. It may last for a few seconds, a few hours, and even for a few days. And long duration stress naman is what we call the chronic stress. And it may last for weeks, for months, and for a year. For example, you are the breadwinner of your family and you are under a company, a company that has decided to terminate employees kasi nga sobra-sobra daw yung employees nila. So first, we have the importance. So you are stressed because that you are a candidate for termination. So dahil nga very important yung job sa'yo, ginagawa mo talaga yung best mo para magawa ng mabuti yung trabaho mo that causes you stress o nagiging response mo yung stress. Next, you have the uncertainty. You are uncertain that or you have no clarity if you will be the one to be terminated kaya ginagawa mo ng mabuti yung job mo. And finally, we have the duration. The company decided to evaluate, to observe their employees in a 1-month duration, and that in that 1-month duration, you are giving your best shot, and the longer that duration or we have that 1 month, the more stressed are you kasi nga you are uncertain kung kung mananatili ka ba sa trabaho mo or not kasi nga importante yung job para sa iyo. And lastly, Hans Selye pointed out the importance of learning about the concept he designated as the eustress. Eustress. So when stress evokes a positive or an uplifting outcome, it is referred to as the eustress from the concept of euphoria. It is euphoria plus stress. So eustress. So, however, it is reasonable to consider both positive and negative stress when determining how to manage stress effectively in the work setting. So that's all for my part. Thank you for listening, and God bless and good luck sa exam.